Well, breaking news this morning, Russia says a Ukrainian rocket strike killed 63 Russian soldiers in the Russian-controlled part of Donetsk region. The Russian Defense Ministry said Ukrainian forces fired 6 rockets and 2 of them were shot down. Meanwhile, Russian drones are targeting Ukraine infrastructure, causing power outages for so many in the war-torn country. Joining us now is Lieutenant General Richard Newton, former Assistant Vice Chief of Staff for the U.S. Air Force. Good morning, Lieutenant. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Kelly. Good to be with you.
Great to have you. So is this latest attack on Russian troops a sign the war could end soon?
No, I think it's just the opposite, frankly. I think we're in the middle of a stalemate where, as you reported, Russia has attacked especially the urban areas for Ukrainian citizens, but also the Ukrainian energy structure with both Iranian-made drones and missiles. All the while, Zelensky has chosen to continue the attack, especially in the eastern part of Ukraine, in the Donbass region, as you mentioned, with high mobile artillery rocket systems provided by the U.S., by the way. And so I think it shows that Zelensky, frankly, is going to keep his foot on the gas and keep what I believe now is, for the last several weeks, if not the last couple of months, momentum going in the favor of the Ukrainians on counteroffensive efforts both in the east and the south as well. All the while, Putin refuses to give up. And I think he's just waiting to get more troops in the battlefield come this spring, which I predict will be a spring offensive. So long answer to a short question. I don't think peace negotiations are anywhere near being ready to be certainly kicked off.
All right, interesting. So Ukraine says today it shot down all Russian drones after Russia launched an unprecedented third straight day of airstrikes against civilian targets. The governor of Kyiv is saying the country's air defense is working. How much of that do you believe is to the United States' credit?
Well, first, I believe I take that with a grain of salt. Of course, the Ukrainians are going to say they shot down all of the Russians, either the drones or the missiles coming in. I don't think that's necessarily true, but we don't really have the facts yet. But a lot of the capabilities that we, both the United States and NATO, have provided to Ukraine, however, have really put Ukraine in a better position to not only deter but defeat these incoming drones and missiles. And we're going to need to keep doing that. And Ukraine's going to need to continue to be somewhat successful in their own air defenses, because I believe Putin is going to continue to rely on Iranian-supplied drones and missiles, perhaps even short-range attack missiles. And so it's going to be important that they, again, the U.S. provides, as well as NATO provides, these air defense systems. All the while, the Ukrainians are, however, getting better in their own air defense. As the battle wears on, they're getting more effective on the battlefield.
So Russia's been mentioning peace talks, but yet 3 straight days of attacks against civilians. So what do you think is Ukraine's best move here?
I think Ukraine's best move here is to keep, as President Zelensky says, keep the foot on the gas, to go counteroffensive while he can, because it does a couple things. It keeps Putin and the Russian forces on their heels. Again, Russia invaded Ukraine 10 plus months or so ago, in the largest land invasion since World War II. So Zelensky now has created that momentum on the battlefield, and he needs to keep that up. All the while, Putin has his greatest capabilities he has is not necessarily on the ground, but through the air with these missile attacks, and again, through the drones and the missile attacks. But the point being is that I don't see that easing up at all. I see that Zelensky will continue his offensive actions as best he possibly can. If you recall, he made a very clear message to the American people on December 22nd when he had that joint address to Congress, where he talks about his 10-point peace plan and so forth. So he's trying to set the conditions where in 2023, the conditions will be where he will have the advantage on those supposed peace negotiations if they unfold.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.